93 KHJ broadcasting live here at the Fishers Forum. It's a beautiful day for coming out and bringing your family, learning about the fisheries, and educating ourselves and our young people about how the fisheries affect us, our economy, our culture, our food. And speaking of food, I'm salivating at the wonderful smells emanating from all of our food vendors, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity not only to feed our stomachs, but to feed our brains. And here to help us with that is Kitty Simonds. She is the Executive Director of the Western Pacific Regional Fishery Management Council. Morning, Kitty.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on the radio show.
Look, if we, there's a thing we do where we say it's our job, but what a job where you have to come out and eat delicious food and meet awesome people and take tours of awesome longliners and purse seiners is really cool.
Well, the thing is that different things are happening in the Pacific. Fisheries are very, very important. And we islanders, what do we have? That's what we have, fish. And so, and then our culture, we've got to eat fish. We've got to fish for fish. It's just all about the ocean for us. So we thought this would be a great idea to come to American Samoa and to have this sort of, not festival, but just a get-together of all of the different elements, the different fishing vessels that fish for food for us here, and the associations and the agencies, whether they're local or federal, because I see the Coast Guard is out there talking about how to be safe. Costs money, though, to be safe, just want you to know.
It very much does, but it pays at the same time.
Right. So, and as you probably know, the different size boats sometimes have large differences about who should be catching what fish. And so hopefully everybody will learn that the purse seiners are looking for skipjack tuna for cans, and they occasionally get yellowfin and also occasionally pick up big-eye tuna because they fish on fish aggregating devices, and those are little instruments that attract fish. And so the fish obviously don't know which fad they should go to, so they all go to the fads.
Yep.
And then we have our American Samoa longliners, and they fish for albacore for the canneries as well. And so they support, especially Starkist, because Starkist, they like to apply for, what do you call this? I'm trying to think of contracts with the United States. Okay, in order to have contracts for school lunch, for United States programs, the fish have to come from a U.S.
Yeah.
boat. So we have these boats here. Well, one of the problems with our American Samoa longliners fishing for albacore is there have been not very many albacore out there over the last 3 or 4 years. And one of the reasons, and it doesn't have to do with how many, the biomass or anything like that, it's about the number of boats that have increased fishing for albacore. And we're talking mainly China. They had just, 100 boats maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They've built up to 400 boats that are out there fishing for albacore. So it's not just American Samoa that has the problem of not finding fish, but all across that swath of ocean in the Pacific, like Fiji, everybody's having the same problem. So then we have this big international organization where 26 nations that fish for tuna get together every year. And what we're trying to do is to establish quotas for albacore and to try to get capacity, number of boats, down to whatever that level should be. So in American Samoa, because it has 2 canneries, plays a very important part in the Pacific for fishing. And their neighbors are all fishing as well, the Cook Islands, Tuvalu. And so what we want to see here is that all of the different gear types kind of work together.
Oh, yeah.
And try not to have big differences. So that American Samoa's economy can continue. One of the problems, of course, is with the minimum wage, and I know that the Congresswoman had a bill to continue the moratorium.
It was passed into law.
Right, but I think that the moratorium didn't continue, though, and that I think they have to pay 40 cents in the next year, yeah?
That's correct. It went up 40 cents effective now.
Yeah, right, that's pretty sad.
Well, whatever it is what it is.
Yes.
And I think your point is that however it is that our community should work together to make sure that we are united in our own purpose.
Always. Right. I mean, there's power in the masses.
Indeed.
Yes, and so we kind of stick together. And American Samoa, as well as the other two territories, they have a place at the international table. So, while they can't vote or have contracts with foreign governments, they sit at the table and they can put forward resolutions and those kinds of things. So, they're getting there, all the territories.
Now, you wanted to pass on one thought to just the average person in American Samoa. What would you want to leave people with? What thought or lesson?
I think that we should start with the children in kindergarten to educate our children about the fishery resources, what's important, why fishermen need to report their catch, because all those kinds of information, they go into a model and we all decide how to manage. So you have to have good information. And I do have to say that over the last year, your marketers, I think there are about 12 of them, they're part of a project that we have. And so they have been faithfully reporting what they sell. And what we need is for the fishermen to report what they catch. And that's something that, we're working on with DMWR to get better information, not simply calling up and saying, oh yeah, what did you catch today? No, I think that everybody should have a little form. It can be in Samoan, whatever. Just, what did you catch? How many? Where did you catch it? Because then you can make good informative management decisions.
Oh yeah, and that's what it's all about. Information so that we can... Good information for maintaining our fisheries for the future.
Exactly.
It's Kitty Simonds, Executive Director of the Western Pacific Regional Fishery Management Council. Thank you for being on with us.
Malo.
Yeah. It's Joey and Sa broadcasting live at the Fishers Forum. Come on down, get something to eat, and get something for your brain too with 93 KHJ broadcasting live. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that.